Mr. Steve Horn is the president of the Shreveport Bossier New Car Dealers Association. Hey, Mr. Steve, thanks for taking time for us. How you doing today? Happy New Year. Almost Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
You too. I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you.
Steve, I want to ask you, Steve, about car sales in our region first. Shreveport Bossier for 2020. This year sucked for you guys, didn't it?
Well, it's getting better. It's been a crazy year. It's been unlike any other. I've been in the business since 1992, and I've never seen anything quite like this. But yeah, it's been a scary ride. But things are getting much better. Things have changed a lot since late spring and into the finish of this year. So got a lot of positive things going into next year, but it has been something else.
I would assume, as president of the New Car Dealers Association, that since there's an association, you get together, you have meetings, you talk about the directions of the business. Early on in the year, you were faced with a lot of problems, as was every dealer in the area. What you said, things we've never seen before.
Right.
What sort of innovations, what sort of evolution did you and other dealers, what sort of plans did you make to combat the lockdowns and stuff like that?
We did a lot of adaptation, initially doing a lot of pickups and deliveries, doing a lot of more, things digitally, so to speak, and communicating a little differently. I mean, in the early stages, we had, we weren't operating at full staff. We had various outbreaks, in the area where, heck, we had, I think, certain dealerships that were down for a number of days, temporarily, but down through the quarantine, phases as they had outbreaks. We had dealerships that had, entire departments, say like the showroom had to close for a certain number of days, to go through that process. Could be the accounting office, could be service. So it was a little all over the board. I think the industry's adapted a lot. Going forward, heck, we've had a lot of Zoom meetings. We haven't been able to really meet in person, training and get together is a big part of the car business, and we've had to do a lot of things via Zoom and Microsoft Teams, some different things like that. Our biggest issue is our supply chain, stopped for a couple of months, and that's cars, that's parts, that's all the way down the line. So we had some of those challenges involved record low, never seen before, low levels of inventory. I think we got here at my particular store here, I think we got down to like 50 cars one day. But
wow.
How do you retrain? How do you retrain? I'm not even sure if that's the right word. Car salesmen to sell cars online as opposed to in person. Car sales is an in-person business. It's a personal business.
I want my butt in that seat of that car.
And suddenly you're having to make your pitches and answer questions on the internet. How did you train your guys for that?
Part of that has been, in the evolution, over time. We're doing a lot more digitally and upfront than we ever have before. Information sharing, information gathering, exchange. So that progression is already there. It just, I think, obviously had to accelerate quite a bit and pick it up. We had to pick up our skill sets a little bit there, but something that's been evolving. We really had to really step it up, in that regard. But I think our industry is very resilient, and we've showed a tremendous rebound. We were down 39% in April, and we're down like 11% now for the year. So the last few months, at least locally, have been pretty good months in terms of a comeback. So I think we've learned a lot, during that period of time. And
those numbers, Steve, do the numbers locally mirror what's going on in the state and in the nation pretty much?
In the state, yes. I looked, after you and I talked yesterday, it looked like, I'm getting like 9.6% decrease for the state and 11.4% decrease for, our particular area in the nation. for new car wise is a little over 16%.
Let me sort of re-ask Aaron's question with a little more optimistic spin. If somebody had told you in March or April, in the darkest days of the shutdown and your lack of inventory, etc., if somebody had told you 10 months ago, 8 months ago, that for the year you'd only be down 11%, wouldn't you have said, that's pretty good, I'll take it?
Oh, heck yes. We were, we were preparing, for much worse. We were, you got to prepare for the worst sometimes. And, but yes, absolutely. We're thrilled, especially with this last quarter of the year. We're thrilled to be moving in the right path of what we consider normal operations, and I think we're very fortunate. Yeah, most everybody I've talked to is very optimistic.